So, hey, y'all, hey, and welcome to another session of Meditations with Marigny. So, today is Monday, March the 2nd. Can you believe that we are already in the month of March in 2026? Huh, time is just flying by. But if you typically like my videos, I'm going to ask you to click like now. And then I'm going to ask you to share it with a friend, and I will ask you to subscribe. So this morning, I mentioned to you guys that I would be doing less and less videos about like just relational things as far as men and women go. But there are a few things I feel like I still need to clean up from the online dating process. And just in the process of this weekend, some things that I looked at, things that I experienced, and then just giving some deep thought to some things that I heard. I wanted to talk this morning about it's time to clean up the lint. It's time to clean up the lint. And I like to wear like sweaters, and certain sweaters, they pick up different types of lint. So when I'm speaking of this, y'all know I like to play on words. When I'm speaking of this, I'm speaking of lint, Lint, which is the lint that we have on our clothes. But I'm really speaking and thinking about we are currently in the lint season, which I was thinking about the word lamenting. The word lent comes from it's the root word of lamenting. And this is not a professional definition, but for me, lamenting means like you're kind of like in a lull type place. You're in a deep thought. You're really taking things in. And I think that sometimes we have to look at how we can clean up some of the lint that is in our life, but how also we can use our linting season to grow and develop. So I didn't choose to do anything. For those of you that follow my channel on a regular basis, you know that most of my content is going to be from a Christian or a biblical base. It's going to have a foundation that undergirds it as far as what my Christian beliefs are. And I did not choose to give up anything this year. I feel like I'm giving up enough right now. If you follow my channel, and if you don't, you need to go back and follow it and see what my walk is right now. But I feel like I'm giving up enough already. And I'm joking, saying that jokingly. But I feel that this season, one of the things that I decided to do is not necessarily give up something, but to clean up the things in my life. So I'm doing some deep cleaning to my house. I am doing some getting rid of things. Like, even if they're good things, I got a real bad habit of buying stuff and it's still brand new, still got the tags on it, or still, in the container that I originally bought it in. I liked it when I bought it, but I'm not doing anything with it. And so I made a decision that I'm going to get rid of some things. I'm going to take some things to, there's a women's shelter that I take things to sometimes, and those women are starting over and they don't have anything. So I'm taking some to them. And then I work at a school where many of my students, they just don't have access to certain things. So a lot of times I'll bring the brand new things to them, let them go through it and see what they like. And then I'll give the rest of it away, or I'll tell them to share it with a friend or something of that sort. But this is a season for you to clean up the lint in your life. And when I say the lint, I'm not giving up anything during Lent season, but I am cleaning up those things. Deep cleaning things, not just in my physical life, but in my spiritual walk. Where are the areas that I can maybe sharpen my skill set? What are the areas that I can allow God to stretch me a little bit further? And it's not always easy, but it's necessary. When you all know that, for those that follow me, you know that my channel had been mostly about relationships, and that's because I was in that vein, and it still is, but I know that God is moving me in a different direction right now because my focal point is in a different direction. For 6 months I was doing this online dating thing, so guess what, I was engulfed in that on a daily basis, kind of dealing with the prospects and being on the channel with them and things of that sort. But this is a season where I'm cleaning up my phone. I'm cleaning up my, because I mentioned to you guys last week when I said that I feel that I've already met my husband. I believe that he's already been in my presence. And somehow in the circle of people that I've met and in the coming into contact with people, I have already met him. Our paths have crossed. And perhaps we both are doing some things where we're working on cleaning up some stuff. One of the things, again, that I am doing is I am going through my phone. I am getting rid of old threads. I am getting rid of connections that I did not have a connection with. There was not a spark there, either it be on their side or mine. In most cases, if I'm completely honest, a lot of them, it was the man that made that decision. And the majority of them was because most men cannot handle the they can't handle the rotation of multiple women at one time. What they can handle it, and I'll say, if they're looking for something serious, if they're looking for something serious, they can't handle the rotation of multiple women at one time. If they just looking for the casual fly by night, go hop in the bed with somebody, get the hook up, then yes, they can. They can put that in rotation and they can continue to do that. Even for most men, though, that's going to become a challenge because we make soul ties with people. And if you're sleeping with them, even if it's on the first night, you had to engage with them somehow in order to be able to get to the point that you are able to then become intimate with that person. But I want to go back to the Lent season. What are you working on right now in your life? Like, what areas are you really trying to refine? What areas have you gotten quiet lamenting? Have you gotten quiet and have you come to a place where you're saying, Lord, just speak to me? I might not really like what you're getting ready to cut out of me, but I want you to actually just carve that component out. Take that thing away from me that I no longer need. Take that thing away from me that you did not give to me, but I picked it up along the pathway because of my hurt, because of my pain, because of my disappointment. I allowed myself to be vulnerable in that space. And that's a real conversation to have. I remember when I went through my season of making sure that God could really do what he needed to do with me. And it was not easy, y'all. When I say, like, the days that I cried, the times that I was tested when it came down to my financial component, because I need you all to remember, when my husband and I separated, I didn't separate. Now, there's a difference between, and this is, I'm just talking to men right now about women. It's a difference between a woman that leaves a man and she leaves her structure and her household functioning, daily function, and her support system, and she has somebody else. she going somewhere else. She's transitioning her foundational support from one person to another. It's a difference between that woman and the woman who does not have anything that she's falling back on but God. I want you to let that rest in you, because when you step out like that, like I knew, and this is me just being completely vulnerable with my channel, I knew that leaving my marriage, there was a possibility that I might lose my house. I knew there was a possibility that I may not be able to make it. I knew there was a possibility that I was going to have to live some days with no lights. I knew I was going to have to struggle to keep the water bill on. I knew it. But I knew that if I trusted God in that process and I didn't look for a man to supply my needs, that God would supply every need that I had. And I'll be honest with you, it has been tough. It has been difficult. It has been, even most recently, some days that I have had to cry. But God has provided because of my obedience, because of my sacrifice, because of my commitment to Him, to the point that one brother, a friend of mine, said, you had five. One of the brothers that was still left standing, he tried to he tried to comfort me in reference to my spirituality and my walk with God, in reference to where I was um, with my abstinence. And I don't have a problem with anybody that has an opinion about what they feel, how a person should walk and what they should do. What I do have a problem with is there is not a man that I have met that does not know that up front if he's going to move forward with me. There's not one that can say that he didn't know about that, he wasn't aware of it. There's not one that can say that he was not informed of what my position was. And so once you're informed of that, then it's your decision as to whether or not you want to stick around. And it's okay with me if they don't. I'm good with it. And some gonna stick around and some gonna go away and then they're gonna come back. But at the end of the day, this particular brother tried to add some pressure to me in that area. And when he didn't do it in a way where he just tried to apply pressure. What he did is he tried to attack my character as it pertains to my spirituality. Well, that wasn't going to go real good, because what's going to then happen is I'm going to have to correct you on that, because I'm all about accountability. No, I'm going to hold myself accountable. And so, no, you're not going to be able to comfort me in that manner and I not hold you accountable. So guess what I had to do? I had to get rid of the lint. You got blocked, deleted, and asked to delete me and block me. So what I will say, and I'm saying that kind of in a jokingly way, but I'm saying it very seriously. If you are going to walk out this season in your life, what are you doing to get rid of the lint that you have in your life? And how are you going to operate with that? So I have made it to my destination. I am running late this morning. It ain't no sense in me rushing to get out and run inside. I made it here safely. I was able to chat with you guys. But I want to just say to you that it's time to take out the lint. Get you a lint brush. Clean your clothes off. Clean out that phone. Clean out the closet. Clean out your car. Make sure that you are doing what you need to do in order to prepare yourself for where God is getting ready to take you. If you guys have enjoyed my videos, I want you to click like, share it with a friend. Have an awesome day. Bye.